Shalom. Welcome to the Jewish View. My name is Rabbi Nachman Simon with the Chabados of Delmar, together with Mark Ronich, my co-host of Statewide News Service, StateBizTechValley.com, and as you see, columnist for the Jewish Press.
Yeah, I have a column called The Albany Beat, and I talk about how government relates to the Jewish community, or doesn't, as the case may be. But speaking of the Jewish community, we have the executive director of the Schenectady Jewish Community Center, Mark Weintraub, with us today, and welcome back. You're a return guest, so we must have done something right the first time.
You're still on my GPS.
Okay,
that's correct.
good.
Yes.
And you brought a special guest with you,
Sure.
Shahar, Bar-Meir.
Yes.
And you're from the Eshkol Region of Israel?
Yes.
Okay, well, welcome to the Jewish View.
Thank you.
We're very happy to have you here.
I'm very happy to be
You
here.
just flew in, right? Just for the show.
Before we start with Shahar, how's the Schenectady JCC doing?
Things are going amazing.
Okay,
Amazing.
that's good.
Everything's, first of all, the summer is the busiest time for the JCC. Summer camp is in full swing. Last year was, in terms of registrations for our day camp, was our number one year. We beat that this year.
Really?
So that's exciting.
How many enrollees?
It's about 270
Wow.
total.
Wow.
Yeah,
Excellent.
we have a day camp with about 240, 250, and then we have a teen camp on wheels, and they go on trips every single day. They're barely in the building. And the great thing is our staffing. We have counselors who've been working at camp 14 years. They started as a counselor in training maybe at 15 years old or 16 years old and have continued and come back every summer. Maybe they work as teachers or educators and come back as counselors. And the other tradition that we have are our Israeli shlichim, our emissaries who work every summer. As Shahar is one of them. Remember last year we had gentleman Martin that I brought. Mm-hmm. So it's becoming an annual tradition.
That's wonderful.
But just in terms of the JCC, other than that, our family park or outdoor pools open on the William and Estelle Golub family park and family pool and tennis club. William and Estelle Golub are Neil Golub's parents, and we make sure to keep that community asset as pristine as it is. People are using the baseball fields. We've started to do a lot of rentals and corporate rentals.
And your corporate and your kosher cafe?
Yes. Kosher soul food, of course.
That's doing well?
The snack bar, absolutely.
Okay.
And we actually went out this year. We've been doing also. We're doing very well fiscally. Paid off all our debt. We had a strong surplus this year, about $250,000.
Oh, excellent.
And so we've been able to invest back into the JCC. So one of the things is moving the snack bar from a snack bar to a cafe. And we bought all this really nice outdoor furniture. It's amazing how much money nice outdoor cafe furniture is. And we've kind of upped things in terms of the snack bar. And also now we're starting to offer, besides the kosher soul food, some healthy options, which people have demanded. So things are just going great guns. It's August, we're looking at September, preschool. We also, in terms of our sports and wellness, I don't know if you know Casper Wells, who played, local guy, right, who played for the Detroit Lions. He's now retired, he's back in Schenectady, and he's been doing training camps for the kids at the JCC, which is very cool.
And he's from Glens Falls? Or
No, he's from Schenectady. Schenectady, born and raised.
And he's not Jewish?
He's not Jewish,
But that's terrific.
Absolutely.
So you should have brought him along also.
Well, I could have, maybe next time.
Okay.
So it's been great. He's trying to figure out his next kind of stage in life after sports, and while he's here, he's very much involved with our JCC, and his family's here.
That's beautiful.
And, so that's been really kind of cool.
How'd you make the connection with Casper Wells?
Actually, we have a secret at our JCC. We have one of our more senior statespeople at the JCC, staff person Joanne Kress, who's I think third or fourth generation Schenectady, and she knows everybody. So whenever we want to know something, Joanne, who, what, boom, 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 puts it all together. And she knew the family, and we made the connection, and it's just been great. So things are just going great guns.
And we have this camp Chavarim is what you are calling your day camp?
Our day camp, that's correct.
It's called Camp Chavarim.
That's right.
So that's the...
And this year our theme is to go on safari, and I brought some safari camp paraphernalia, which I could share with you if you'd like me to.
I hope they're not real animals here.
Well,
You're bringing
Be aware.
Oh,
I don't know if
look
you
out.
have any protection or anything, but
Yeah.
they're all kosher. That I can promise you.
Uh-huh.
So what we did was kind of fun. Our Jewish cultural coordinator, Judy Ben-Ami, advertised in the JCC and asked our community members and our JCC members if they would like to donate anything with a safari type theme for display in our hall. And so we got things like, I guess it's a tiger. I don't know what it,
Yeah.
But here you go, Rabbi. Don't be nervous, okay?
Hey, it's not
Don't be
kosher. You
nervous.
told me it's got to be kosher.
Well, you don't know, maybe. Here we've got
This is the kosher version.
here's something you could play with,
Oh,
Mark.
thank you, thank you,
Mark,
thank you.
And we've got, I know you guys, you're in journalism and you're always looking for a scoop, so
That's
maybe
right.
this is
Yeah, that's
something
maybe
that
from
can
Mark,
help
yeah.
you.
Spy on somebody. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
Spying. Ooh,
Yes.
oh, up
And then
close.
we've got
Nicer
all
up
types
close.
of flip-flops because it's summer.
That's right.
And, Shahar, if you could help me up over
What
here.
else do you have?
We can show you, we've got, hey, this
Pick
was
that
done
up
by
or-
our, what?
All right,
You sit down?
yeah, well, just
Pick
pick
it
it
up.
up. Pick it
Just
up.
pick it
That's
up.
good enough.
Yeah.
People could see it. There you go.
Okay, so this was made by our
There's
counselors
Safari.
and trainers to Safari, if you want to go on Safari.
That's
That's what's going on this summer, and I think we're into color.
are having a lot of
Kids are having a
fun.
blast, and that's the most important
Well,
thing.
thanks for bringing all these in. This
Yeah.
is great.
Well, these are all my toys.
We have to go back to
Great.
day camp over here, Mark. Maybe we should sign up.
Everybody should go to camp.
That's
One of
right.
my goals is that we have adult camp. I'm waiting for that, So, and a lot of parents are too. So that would be great. But just we're excited. We're excited.
What's the oldest counselor or person you have employed at the camp?
Probably Andy Katz, who now is my program. Andrew Katz, who's now Andy Katz, was my program director, who started at the JCC when he
Mid-30s?
was 14.
Is he mid-30s
Yes.
now?
He started
Okay.
JCC when he was about 14, 15 years old as a counselor. So it's just amazing the longevity.
Oh, your
And-
mic fell.
Did it?
No, it's right here.
No,
Oh,
it's just.
so. Oh, boy.
So when you got up here, could you do that? All right, now just
Mark's our producer. He's our journalist
slip it
and our.
underneath. Slip it from the bottom of the hoop.
Like
Slip
this?
it- No, the bottom of the hoop.
Yeah, that's it.
It fits through?
Yeah.
Right there. All right. Don't move
Oh.
too suddenly. That's all.
All
Okay,
right.
I apologize for
Fine.
that. I don't know.
That's,
All right. Good enough.
Just like that?
that's
Good.
good.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So I don't know what's what we miss, but camp's really been exciting.
Okay.
And you were asking about.
You were just off mic. We had everything because we had the other mics live. So
Oh, okay. Great.
We heard everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. So so Andy's been with us, almost 20
So
years.
pretty much the mid-30s. After that, it gets a little creepy to be with the little kids and stuff. And
Not at all. Everybody should be with the kids.
Okay, fine.
But it's a big operation. I mean, we spend a lot of time moving. Think about it. All these kids are in groups.
Yeah.
And each group has a name, Hebrew name. And there's Kufim, those are the monkeys and the giraffes and all these different names in Hebrew. And we have to move these groups from place to place and activities. And so it's really a big operation. And Shahar's responsibility is to work with, we have two shlichim, two emissaries, one who works with the teenagers on the travel camp, and that's a job unto itself, and that person stays with them and goes on all the trips. And Shahar's responsibility really is to do early education with the younger children, and she has a room, it's called the Israel Room, she's taken over, and it talks all about life in Israel. Maybe you want to...
Yeah. Explain.
Well, I just wanted to ask
I'm
you
sorry.
about the camp. What's your goal? What's your next step with developing the camp?
Well, there's a couple of things I've been thinking about in terms of camp. Number one is camp, as opposed to any other child care part of the JCC, we're not limited by physical space of the building. So we have 25, our JCC is on 25 acres of land. So theoretically, in camps outside, we have unlimited capacity of growth. So the question is looking at potentially maybe the teen ages or other ages and how we can grow the camp. We don't have things like ropes courses, these type of things. Maybe we want to look at investing that and growing the camp. The other thing that we've done, I don't know if you're familiar with the Harold Grinspoon Foundation. They have
Yes.
Camp 180. We applied for that it's a wonderful program to help you grow your camp, especially in the area of fundraising. And they teach you a lot, and they provide challenge grants. We were not accepted to the program this year, but that's one of my goals, is to get accepted to the program, because we have, in the JCC in general, and certainly at our camp, alumni of people who are 40 years old, 50 years old, and we have not captured those names, and really we're not really communicating with those people in a coordinated way. Think about it, colleges, they talk to their alumni. I'm sure Chabad's got it all figured out. We don't at this point. That for me is a major goal, is to capture those names and develop a technology in a way that we can be in touch with people around the globe, using social media and other things, because so many people have passed through our JCC, either early childhood or camp. So those are just some of the things we've been thinking about.
Okay, so you need a fundraising director, I see.
It's something we're thinking about. We need a marketing. We also, would need someone to help coordinate. Yeah, as we grow, we're starting to see that our real issues are in terms of capital infrastructure.
Right.
We were very fortunate. We received a grant of $125,000 recommended by Representative Phil Steck, Assemblyman Phil Steck. And we're using that to do a lot of the greening of the building. We're going to be redoing all the lights. All the lighting is from the 80s. And we're looking at probably a 4 to 4.5 year payback, just changing all the ballasts and the lights and the fixtures.
And you did some greening with your furnace a few years ago.
That's correct.
I remember that.
That's good,
That's right.
good. That's correct. We replaced a 40-year-old furnace. The thing looked like an iron lung. It was amazing. The furnace was the size of, huge. I mean, filled up this room, at least lengthwise. And the current boiler that has the same capacity but amazingly higher efficiency is just 2 small towers. So it's, that's one of the great, the challenges of having an older building, and our building was built in the 1970s.
Right. They
acquired the land in 1967. And before that, it was always downtown Schenectady, where the Jewish community was. Is you have a lot of engineering challenges, especially since we have an addition, and how does this heating system talk to that heating system, et cetera. But the opportunities are that you can kind of invest in new things and really kind of upgrade the experience for our members.
Well, that's terrific. Well, keep up the good work.
Well,
that's
thank you.
Wonderful. I like to hear stories like that.
Thank you. It's all positive.
It is. That's great.
Shahar,
Okay,
now
Shahar.
to you over here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to Schenectady. It's a long way off. Mark's put up the map.
Yes. So I live in Israel, in the area it's called Eshkol, as you can see in the map. It's in the Negev, in the south of Israel. I got to this program. It's the Jewish Agency program to send shlichim every summer to summer camps all around United States and Canada.
So you're only here for the summer?
Yeah, not
a whole year.
No, for 2 months.
Right.
So I got here to Schenectady JCC because I live in Eshkol, and we have a partnership together between these 2 communities. And
the Jewish Federation has a partnership with, it's like a sister city with Eshkol.
Yeah, and we actually, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we made a special request this year that at least one of our shlichim were from the Eshkol region, to bring someone from that partnership area just to educate the community and our staff and everybody about that partnership.
That's great. So welcome to the Capital District.
Thank you.
How do you like it here?
Very happy to be here. People in Schenectady JCC and all the people I met here in Niskayuna, they're amazing and they're kind and very welcoming. It was very nice to be here in this area. I'm very happy that I'm here.
Sometimes you're not supposed to ask age for a woman, but how old are you?
I'm 23.
23.
23. Yeah.
Oh, you're so poised. What do you do in Israel? What kind of work do you do?
I worked with kids in the kindergarten after I released from the army.
Okay.
1 year ago. And then I work we have tourism in our kibbutz, we have guest house. And then I came here.
So what did you do in the army?
I was in the Air Force.
Air Force?
Yeah.
And did you actually fly the plane?
No.
No, what did you do?
I planned the maps and the intelligence stuff for the pilots.
Very nice, very nice.
You know, it's interesting, Mark, of course. I mean, it's such an anomaly for an American, especially, let alone there's no draft for the men in the United States, and surely never was for the women. And here's a young woman, like Mark is saying, and you're not the rough and tough. You think it will be a soldier, but it really is.
Well, we have a long history in the United States of women serving
Yeah,
in
well,
the armed forces, but
You're right.
it's just
If you don't want to go,
it's
you
no
don't have
just
to
no
go.
it's voluntary.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just even on the map, as the audience can see, it's not the United States-Canadian border, which is obviously totally safe.
So this is
You're-
where you're from,
Yeah, I live in Kibbutz Elim. It's a settlement in Eshkol.
right?
Eshkol actually, it's not a town, it's a
Region.
region. And there is 32 settlements. Part of them is kibbutzim, some of moshavim. So I live in kibbutz. And yes.
And do you and you're very close to the West Bank,
No, to
No.
Gaza Strip.
to the Gaza
Strip.
Strip.
Yeah.
Okay, and how do you feel about that? I mean, is it a nervous type of thing, or do you just get used to it? I mean,
This is our life, so we
Yeah.
just get used to it, but it depends. People heard that we live so close to Gaza Strip because what they hear in the press and the news, but we try and live the regular life. We don't always think about what's going to happen. We live our life, like regular life.
do you have friends in the Gaza Strip?
No.
No.
No,
Okay, so you don't
we don't have connection
you
with
don't
them at all.
interact with
No.
them. There's no basketball game where they try to have
Nothing.
Israelis in
No.
Gaza Strip like we do with the Jews and the blacks and the
No, it's
around
not.
here. No,
It's not that
You
kind
don't-
of connection.
no. Okay. What do you what sort of work do you like to do besides teaching? Do you like to do teaching?
That's
what you do.
going to be your
I-
professional when you go back to Israel.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to do, he's
I
asking.
really like to work with kids.
Mhm.
It's very interesting me. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I think it will be.
Now, this way you came here, this is voluntary.
Yes.
You could have gone out of Tzava, which is the Israeli army, and just gone back to work.
Yes, this project is volunteering.
Well, you like working with kids, so
Yeah.
this is a natural
And
over
it's
here.
a great experience for me because it's my first time in America, so everything is new and.
Do you get to
I
tour? Besides working, you're going to go around the United States?
I will travel, but after the program.
Uh-huh.
But it's not something that they have to do. It's something that I want to do.
What do you do on the kibbutz? Because I haven't been on a kibbutz, so maybe a lot of people in our audience.
You
Have
should
not
take
been
Mark
on a
over
kibbutz.
there to Israel
You
and work
can
on a
come.
kibbutz.
Put in the work.
It's
Put
a
in
very
the
nice
work.
place.
Put in the work.
We have agriculture. We grow potatoes, carrots, peanuts, all kind of vegetables that are in the field. We have milk house and chicken coop.
Mhm.
And we have tourism, like I said before. We have a guest house that people all over Israel, they come and host in our guest house.
A lot of tourism. Tourism is a big.
Is it what?
The tourism is a big business. for Israel.
Yes.
How
So it's all together.
many people in your kibbutz?
All people is 400 people
400
total.
people.
Yeah, including kids,
That
teenagers,
sounds like a
parents.
large kibbutz.
No,
Is
it's,
it? Or is that an average size?
It's not that big, but it's not small. It's,
Okay.
I found out something interesting in talking with Shahar earlier. The largest theater in the entire southern Israel is on her kibbutz. I think it's 960 seats or something?
Yeah, this is in Eshkol. Yeah.
Wow.
In
But
Eshkol.
who's the players? They have theater? It's from your kibbutz or
No,
people
all around
come from?
the country, shows from Tel Aviv or musicians and
Mm-hmm.
musicals. They come to Eshkol to show there.
Well,
And-
there's a musician in Israel who's got the same last name as me. His name's Shlomo Gronich.
Oh, yeah.
Shlomo
And I
Goldman,
don't,
yeah.
and I don't know if you have run into him.
Yeah, I
but,
know him.
If you do, well then tell him you were on the show with me. And maybe we could connect. Maybe he's a cousin, long lost cousin.
You guys do not look alike. That I can tell you.
Well,
You have to Google him.
okay. So tell me about your experience here at the Schenectady JCC. What's your anything unique? Anything happen that's out of the ordinary?
Something you learned, your experience of learning about maybe American kids are different than Israeli kids.
I can say that I was really surprised that a lot of people, campers, that come to the camp, most of them are not Jewish, and I was surprised for good that people send their kids to the JCC camp, because even if they're not Jewish, so they come and they learn about Israel, and all the things in the camp is around the Jewish. So
Well,
it's very
I know it's
beautiful
very
thing.
important because, again, you're in America just for a little while, but one of the problems always is the American press. The Israelis, they're fighting, and, sometimes they don't show Israelis as the nicest people. And just you're obviously just meeting you on the TV, you're a nice person, and you're, like you say, teaching people about, hey, Israeli are peaceful people, we're not warriors. Some people get the wrong image. You have to tell people that, and then they see it with their own eyes, and it changes a lot of people's ideas about what Israel is and what they're doing.
Absolutely right. And the fact that she's working with very young children, so they're impressionable in a positive way. And we have kids at our JCC, I mentioned to you, I'm sure last time, from all over the world. So there are kids literally from India, and many of them, their parents have come and work at GE Global Research.
Right.
So we're doing international relations in a big way. Plus the kids go home and talk to their parents about, how much fun I had today and with Shahar in the Israel room. You have to come see it. It's pretty cool.
And I also, I have an Italian friend of mine growing up who went to a Jewish camp and came home and said, "Mom, how come we don't light candles on Friday night?"
That's right.
And she says, "This is the last year you're going there."
That's funny. That's funny.
But that inquisitive thing, and but do you have what's your religiosity in Israel? Are you observant?
Traditional. Friday night candles, for example.
Yeah,
Mark
we
was
light the
saying.
candles, but we're not religious in my house.
Uh-huh.
My brother is religious.
Yes.
He's an Orthodox, but me and my brothers and my parents, we're not. We're not keeping Shabbat.
Do they have something called Reform or Conservative in Israel, or is it just
it's different
Orthodox or
definitions.
non-Orthodox?
No, it's different definitions, but
What do you call it? What's the definition?
for Orthodox, it's like religious.
Right.
That's how we say.
And then if you're not yet religious, is that what they say?
Not religious.
It's not good, Mark. For example, it's a whole different atmosphere than America. You're putting American terms, Jewish terms into Israel. For example, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, American, obviously, a Jewish person is obviously free to work. No one's going to stop them. But in Israel, everything stops.
Right.
So what you consider non-religious in America would be a very traditional Jew.
Right, you're leading a Jewish life by default.
Yeah, in the army, for example, they're only giving kosher food.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're keeping kosher. Obviously, when you're...
Do you keep kosher?
Yeah, I keep kosher.
So even when you go out to restaurants, you don't go to a non-kosher restaurant, right?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Now, the other thing
I'm
is...
curious.
Yeah.
This is out of
No,
curiosity.
the other
Yeah,
thing,
that's right.
which you might want to ask about is her background, because her background is from where? You're Iraqi.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you
Iraqi
go.
Jew, so...
Help me out here.
No, but, and I happen to know a little bit about this, because when I lived in Israel, I was friends with Mordechai Ben Porat. Do you know who Mordechai Ben Porat was?
No.
This is part of, you should know this. He worked with the Jewish Agency, and I don't know if you ever heard of Operation Magic Carpet in the 1950s?
Sure, I know.
This was the guy, it's unbelievable. They had all these fake companies, and when they smuggled the Jews in, and he was involved in all this. And Mordechai Ben
It's
Porat...
mainly the Ethiopian Jewish.
No, I'm talking about Iraqi Jewry. This is in the
Really?
1950s.
Really? All
When the
right,
Jews
good.
were airlifted from Yemen and Iraq. That was a major aliyah. That was like the second
All right,
aliyah, I
good.
think, to Israel. So but in our Arabic countries, there's no reform and conservative. Those are concepts that go back to Eastern Europe.
Right.
So it's different to be a Jew in an Arab country, quite frankly. You're a Jew, and you're a Jew ethnically, right?
And they're more
than
traditional.
religiously.
More
Yeah.
traditional.
Yeah, and then Jews, right? And it's and different practices. People live differently with their religion because I think you're defined more in an Arab country than you would in potentially in America as a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
And so people just kind of lived it.
They knew who they are.
And
So
if I'm
what
wrong,
came
let me know.
over? Your grandparents came from Iraq? How far
From my
back?
mom's side, and my dad's side, they came from Poland.
Oh.
And actually, my
So you're mixed. That's what they
Yeah.
call intermarriage over here.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So your father's side came from Poland.
yeah, actually, my grandma, my dad's mom, she was born in Jerusalem. So her parents came from Poland,
And what were their last name coming from Poland?
Bar-Meir. And then we got it to Hebrew, and it's Bar-Meir. Yeah.
So
Because
they-
it was hard to say that in Hebrew instead of Yiddish, so my
Now-
dad changed it.
When you're at the Schenectady JCC, do you prefer to speak Hebrew with Judy Ben-Ami, or do you prefer to speak tone up your English and get better at the English?
So with all the other people, I speak only English because that's what they know.
Right.
So with Judy, she's the only one who speaks Hebrew, so it's easy
Where did
to
you
talk
pick
with
up?
her. And Mark, of course.
Yeah. Where did you learn your?
I'm
Just
sorry.
said that. When I went the day they came, I looked at them and I said in Hebrew, welcome, and they looked around like, who's that guy? I said,
So what is it in Hebrew?
Bruchim habayim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But where did you learn your English?
At school. Actually, we
Most Israelis learn English.
Yeah, everybody at school, they learn English. When I was a kid, it was since third grade, but now it's since first grade.
Really? They
Yeah,
teach them.
and we have the same shows and television and movies, and American movies and show with subtitles in Hebrew. So it's easy to learn like that too. That I can listen and read what's the translation.
But the best part about Shahar is she's a living example of the Eshkol region. And so
Yes.
for us, our mission statement is about a connectivity to Israel. And so, for people staff to interact with her on a daily basis and realize she's from Eshkol and what that means and where that is like, it speaks volumes, and our members. So
I remember a few years ago, there was this relief mission, or they were collecting goods and food for the Eshkol region. The Federation, was there like a earthquake, or was there some catastrophe of some sort in Eshkol?
I don't know. I don't know about
okay.
that.
Was there some?
I'm not sure
It
about
was the
that.
Gaza attacks.
It was the Gaza attacks. Is that what it was?
They
Okay.
wanted to give them some.
I see. No,
support, that's
we did
all.
a big collection for the food and goods around here for the Eshkol region to send to our sister city,
Oh.
sister region, and that was, hope appreciated.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of Jewish programs connected. Obviously, having an Israeli shlich, an emissary, obviously is very, very Jewish. But you
Yes.
say Judy Ben-Ami is there?
Judy Ben-Ami. Judy's wonderful, and Judy's been, as you know, Irit Magnus was our Jewish
Yeah,
cultural
I know her
coordinator
for so many years.
for about 30 plus
Yeah, I
years.
know.
Irit made a decision as of January 1 of this year to retire. And, some people, they retire and they say, they ask them, they go, I shouldn't have done it. Irit's like, thank you, I'm doing it very well. She's enjoying retirement, and Judy was a natural selection to take over Irit's responsibilities. And she's just been like wildfire.
Yeah.
And one of the things she's doing, and actually what the JCC is really doing, is we're going to be setting up a task force to look at our Jewish vision and our Jewish identity.
Excellent.
Who are we? Okay, synagogues, the synagogues have a role. Each synagogue from every stream looks at what they are. But we're the only Jewish organization that has the word Jewish as their first name. Think about it.
Yeah.
Chabad, synagogues, everybody. We're called Jewish, okay? What does that mean for us? What does that mean when we have a mixed membership population of Jews and non-Jews? What does that mean for us moving forward? What's relevant about being Jewish and what's not relevant? How can we mix that into today's world and today's millennial generation? So we're going to start looking at what we're doing Jewishly and go through. And one of the things I said was, we're not just going to look at, what do we do in terms of Jewish stuff, but this is all going to be informed by Jewish learning. Because I want our board to say, this is what it means to me and to our community to be Jewish, and what does that mean through a Jewish lens?
That's
so
great.
where we're going with this, I can already tell you, and I hope we do, but I'm pretty sure we will, is one thing that Jewish community centers do well is convene. We can convene the Jewish community because we're a safe middle ground. We have no position left or right, Orthodox, non-Orthodox.
Right.
We are, supervised by the VOD, but other than that, we're really, we believe in welcoming all visitors. So we would like to do that in the Jewish community. We would like to start having, how beautiful would it be to have in the summer, before Shabbat comes in, have Kabbalat Shabbat at the pool. We could bring all the Jewish community together for an hour. We could sing songs at the pool, and then people can go their separate ways and still light out and make their Shabbat. How beautiful would that be? Those are the type of things we're thinking maybe once every quarterly we can bring the Jewish together under the JCC umbrella. And to that note, Judy Ben-Ami told me I have one advertisement. We're having a program on September 8th. Oh, I fell again.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, not bad. I'm sorry. On September 8th, where it's a pre-Rosh Hashanah event, and I would call it Rosh Hashanah Fest if I couldn't come up with a better title, where we're having all the synagogues in the Schenectady area come, all the gift shops, to really give the spirit of Rosh Hashanah and talk about the various options for the Jewish community. That's the type of thing we want to be doing.
That's phenomenal. And are you changing the logo to that J like the Albany JCC did?
We need to. So we've got to figure out, the J was developed by JCCA. The thing that's interesting, of course, and it's very Jewish, is that we have a national organization that gives guidelines but doesn't enforce them. And it's kind of like, you can do this if you want to, but
we're not going to kick it out.
Yeah, right. There's no there's no Pope in Judaism, right? So that's very Jewish. So we have this J, but we also have a wonderful logo. I love our logo.
I did too.
It's really, whoever designed it, I really give them, and it's nice and it recognizes the two pillars, the Golub family, and also Bob Ludwig, who's major pillars, and it's done in a wonderful way. So the question, what you really need to do is how we're going to be able to coordinate the J with that. And quite frankly, one of the things we need to hire a marketing person. We don't really have one, so I need somebody. I want to take the marketing and the fundraising and put them together.
Okay.
Anybody out there? But
Here's my
Marketing is right
Mark, you make more money doing this. But that's kind of where we want to go in terms of figuring that out.
I just have to tell you that Jeopardy has the J with an exclamation point.
Really?
So, yes. So it's the same logo as the same type font as the JCCA picked. Jeopardy picked the same type font as the J, but they have an exclamation point.
Wait, who stole it from who?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
they
we
probably-
Believe me, I'm sure Jeopardy had it first.
So anyway,
that's JCCA's
on
got to
that
deal
note-
with that,
I
If Jeopardy's going to come after us,
No.
what do they say? Bad press is good.
Any press
Any
is good.
press is
Say
good
what you
press.
want about me, just get my name right.
Mark, we're out of time, but thank you for coming back.
Oh, okay.
Having a great time. You're doing great work with the JCC, and I always say that the Jewish, I belong to the Albany JCC, and it just really is, like you say, a unifying force. The Jewish people have this synagogue, that branch, and I belong to this club and that organization, but really everybody feels welcome at the Jewish Community Center. So you're doing good work, and Shahar, thank you for coming all the way from Israel. This is the longest.
How did
guest
she
that
do
we've
it?
had.
First time on TV.
Beautiful. You're
Thank
doing
you.
wonderful work, and you're a beautiful ambassador from Israel to
Thank
the
you.
United States.
I want to have
and
you
doing
back
good work.
again. Okay.
Maybe we
Maybe
should
next
visit
year.
her in Israel.
Okay.
That would be
You-
a good
you
idea.
should
Studio
come.
with us, dude.
Good idea. We'll put you to work on kibbutz.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you
Much
for having
success.
us.